All right, hey guys. So today we are going to be starting some more seeds. We're going to be bumping up some soil blocks and doing, trying out a couple different things. I wanted to take a second though and show you how the dianthus that we use the traditional method with the 72 trays are going. They're doing great. I will be moving them off this shelf and onto the lower shelf down here because there's more room in between the lights. Give them a little bit more space because they're getting pretty close there. But great germination, best germination that we've had. Again, a lot to do with the soil, we think. So that's exciting. And we are gonna go outside and do some more stuff there. But you can see almost 100%. I haven't done a real count, but I mean, looking great. This tray is a little light, but that's all right. Again, we did so many extra to cover for it, but these were all the ones as a reminder too. We did the 2 trays of covered where we sprinkled some of that, the seed starting mix over it, and 2 uncovered. Both of these are from Johnny's Select Seed, and this is dianthus. Like I said, I haven't done a full count, so which way did better we'll have to see, but both ways went pretty strong, so we're happy about it, and we'll see you outside. Okay, so we are outside now, and we are going to be bumping up these soil blocks. I wanted to give you a quick update on these guys. So we have the Johnny's covered on the Johnny's and Eden, I'm sorry, covered on the right, and the Eden uncovered on the left. You can see easily that the covered did much better, even though it was, as you can see on this one that got all smashed, one of our cats went in there and smushed it all about. But these look just as good as the other ones, so maybe the seeds over there were older. I did a quick tally on the ones that were in the 72 trays, or 72 cell trays, and the covered has 50. The uncovered has 26. So that could be, there's a lot of different reasons why that could be going on. Maybe it's because of the light. We kept the lights off during germination, so if they like it darker, once we started to get some germination, then we turned on the lights, so maybe the uncovered ones hadn't had enough time in the dark. This one we also had some watering problems on and stuff like that, but the with the lights on and the heat mats on, trying to get the germination temperature range right, it was spiking too hot and getting out of their little butter zone, which I'm gonna check real quick. I think it's 65 to 72. So when we had the heat mats and the lights on, then it was spiking up way over 72, up to 75 and stuff. So we turned the lights off to get the heat down a little bit. But anyway, just a quick update on all that. Now we are going to be taking these soil blocks. We really liked this method. And just on the one side we had 59, and like I said with the other ones, the better tray had 50, the other one had 26, or I'm sorry, 46. So just on one side of this, then it beat both of those trays. So we decided we're going to do soil blocks this whole season and stop using the plastic ones. So we bought the next size up, and I'm going to go over to Sam for him to talk to you about that.
I believe you're talking about this one?
Yes.
Our last one is this one, of course, which I believe we talked about in a previous video, but 4 versus 20? Big step up. But nice thing about it is these little inserts, they come out and are replaced with ones that were more like this one, rounded. So if you feel like starting in a larger block, you can, but this is set up to receive one of those small square soil blocks that we had pressed out a couple weeks ago. So pretty straightforward. Do it like kind of like you're doing a cookie cutter or whatever. It takes a decent amount of pressure. What I like to do is kind of scoop a little bit, try to fill those holes, and then as I'm pressing down, I wobble it back and forth. And that seems to kind of fill those empty spaces easier. If you just press straight down, then it may or may not fill them all. Wipe off the outside. And before you actually eject the blocks, since we're using the square-headed ones, it's harder for the soil to fill up around it. It's a lot easier when it's the dimple ones, but before I do it, I press the corners on the inside to make sure that there's no air holes. Take your trowel and even it out. And all we do is line it and pop it out. The one thing is, whenever you're pushing it, like ejecting it, you try to let the frame come up instead of pushing down on the plunger side. Because if you push down, it'll kind of smash it as it comes out. But pretty much squeeze with your fingers and lift up and out. And there are little times like it'll make little holes like this where it doesn't quite get everything shoved in, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. But if you have to, that's how easy they come out. Just slide your trowel under it. And you got pretty much a clean block. Is there anything else I need to talk about? No?
Okay, so we are now taking the Dianthus soil blocks from the 4x5 soil block maker and just popping them into the ones that Sam just made. It is incredibly easy. You literally, they just come apart super easy. You just pick one up. I mean, this is perfect. And you just insert it right on in there. And that's it. I'm going to grab one of these bigger ones so you can kind of see the one. Here we go. The one thing that I kind of had a problem with, there was something to watch, is these roots have gotten kind of long on some of these. Maybe we should have bumped these up earlier, I'm not sure. So on these, just really make sure, like right when you go in, because once you go for it, it's in. Like there's no getting it out, there's nothing, because it'll just push the soil block away. So make sure you get that root like down in the center before you drop it in. That's it. It's awesome. It's so easy. It's so fast. So very excited about that. And we're gonna finish these trays off and then start some other things. So we will get back to you in just a minute.
Chickens!
Okay, so I've moved all of these up. I've bumped them up super fast, very easy. We did run in, there were some problems I came across. Wanted to show you how I decided to fix those real quick. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I figure it can't hurt. So there's some like these that are nice and long, have wonderful roots that go really deep, but they're just flopping over. A lot of the ones in here are ones that got like smushed by the cat. But even on the other side, then there were some kind of like that. So what I did is I grabbed a popsicle stick from one of our last times. It was actually just in the bottom of a tray, so that's why I got it. Maybe you can figure out something easier. We have these extra blocks of soil that either don't have the germination or whatever. So what I do is I just very gently lift one up and I take one of these soil blocks. Oops. And sometimes they're just like super floppy like this. I just kind of like place it around it to kind of help it stand up. Some are easier than others. These are the particularly bad ones from the cat. So, and just kind of like, I try to go push in versus down because I don't want to ruin those blocks, and it makes a little like teepee like that. It stands them up. Again, I don't know if you should. The reason I said I use the toothpick is some of these are really small, or they get in deep or something, and you need these to kind of, you know, or if you're not comfortable with your hands or whatever, you know, you can use this to kind of be real gentle and stand them up, and then use your hand to get the soil around. With this, sometimes too, a block went in a little bit sideways, so it was nice on this. I could kind of like get in the hole and kind of like get it back right. So that was nice. So I'm gonna go back through and kind of build little areas around. On this one, you can see I did quite a few, because once I got going on it, it's really fast, and so I figured why not. I didn't want to do all of them, so like I even thought about doing ones like this that were just kind of sloping. but again, I want to kind of see which way works better. So yeah, something else that we came across during our cool seed blocking. Woo! So here are our 3 finished trays. 2 of them will be bumped up, and we're growing them as full transplants to go out into the field. That would be the Scabiosa, which is pincushion flower. These are from Johnny's again, and then also the straw flower, which is from Geo Seeds. So those 2 again will be the ones that will do the same soil blocking method that we did today and bump them up. These we're doing a little different. We're trying something out. We are kind of direct seeding them, kind of not. I mean, obviously we're not really direct seeding them since we're starting them here, but what we're going to do is instead of bumping these up, we're going to transplant these directly into the field. So see how that works out. We're trying a couple different ways of direct seeding. We are going to do some pre-sprouting of the seeds and then plant them in. We opted to try this one. The Dianthus is the earliest you direct seed out, so see how it works out, if it's something we want to keep doing for the whole season. And part of the reasoning was we get a little bit more leniency in the time. When the seeds sprout, you need to get them in within the next couple days. Since we both work full-time off farm as well, that's difficult to time that out properly. Not impossible, of course, but again, we're just trying to find like the easiest, quickest method. So we'll try planning those out. Our plan for that, because again, we have 200 here, we only need 100. So hopefully we'll definitely get 100 to fill the row out. Any extras we might bump up, so then if something dies out in the field, like from transplanting it, then we can have a replacement from it. We'll see how that kind of goes. This is also going to be interesting because although there's still Dianthus and the same variety and everything that we did last week, one, it is from a different company, Geo versus Johnny's, and then we had those again, just a little bit of leftovers from last year from the Eden Brothers, which possibly those were the uncovered ones that maybe that's why they didn't germinate too, because the seeds were older. Well, who knows? So this again, different seed company, different, you know, Geo versus Johnny's. They are new seeds. We just got them in the mail, I think last week. But the other ones we kept the light off during germination. These 2 need germination, and on our seed starting shelf, we have 4 shelves. But these, where the heat mats and everything are, then the lights are just going to have to be on, because like all 3 of these are just going to be on that top shelf. So we'll see if that changes it at all. I might try, depending on how hot it gets with the lights on, I might try unplugging the heat mat and just using like a soil temperature, or soil thermometer rather, to see where it's setting. We'll see how that goes. But we'll see how, you know, how different the germination rate is. We covered these because that was definitely better than the uncovered, so they're all covered. It will have light on. It will be a little bit different than last time, and see if there's some better stuff going on. I think that's it. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. We're still using the levitation mix from Dirtcraft Organics for the next time we bump up. Again, we weren't really sure if we wanted to go that route or if we wanted to bump up into plastic trays. So this was kind of a trial today. It worked really well, so we definitely will be sticking with the soil blocking. We are going to get their next mix, which I looked it up and I forget what it's called now.
Gravity Growers.
Gravity Growers. Woo! Good job, Sam. Thank you. So that'll be more of a, it won't be as light as the seed starting. So we'll get to see how different that is. But I really think a lot of the success we've had this time is from this soil. So we're definitely going to be getting more of it and sticking with them for the foreseeable future. And then, yeah, like I said, try their Gravity Growers mix and as for the bumping up soil blocks. So that's it. Next time we'll be bumping stuff up, we'll be starting stuff, and we'll be you know, transplanting and direct seeding some stuff out over in the field too. We'll get to use the BCS with the tiller attachment. Excited about that. And between all of that farm stuff, all the flower stuff, we'll be needing to get the beet bed ready. So things to look forward to in the future. That's it.